Hello everyone, today I'm going to make a scale video about Classroom of the Elite because I'm personally sick of seeing so much debunk based on pretty pathetic assumptions, especially from Tokyo Revenger fans. I'm going to scale it point by point in this video where I'll group together a large number of feats with their calculations and explanations. I'll also debunk some calculations from Classroom of the Elite that are frequently used even though they're fallacious. So it's with total impartiality that I make this video, in which I'll keep the narrative coherent as much as possible. Let's start with the attack potency. I'm going to do this in chronological order, and the first feat comes from volume 4.5 of the first year. Here we have Ibuki delivering a blow into a sitter, creating a small indentation. Ayanakaji is the narrator of this chapter, and he describes the indentation as apparent. This feat is often forgotten, as nobody really knows how to calculate it. In this feat, Ibuki kicks the elevator panel, so to know the size of the indentation, we need the size of the part of his foot that usually kicks. Once we've calculated that, all we need are the elevator materials and their resistance in MPa. Since the feat is described as visible, I'm assuming that the minimum depth value is 1 centimeter, and I'm going to go up to 3 centimeters in high ball, since otherwise it goes beyond the narrative description that Ibuki didn't do much damage. Just with that we find a base street plus in low ball and low wall level in high ball, knowing that Ibuki was tired and wasn't in optimal condition because of the heat. Now let's look at another feat like KO and G single quotes S. In episode 2 of season 3 of Classroom of the Elite, Kawenji managed to beat a wild boar, and he claims he was just playing with it. So we have Kawenji who is capable of defeating him without difficulty. To find out the size of the boar, we can do a pixel calculation, and with that, calculate its durability with kinetic energy. After calculation we find a baseline low wall level, which again gives a feat wall level to Classroom of the Elite. I'm going to demystify a point that is generally misunderstood by most readers. Sudo didn't break the desk. In fact, when we look at the panel, we're told that the desk collapsed and crashed to the floor. So it wasn't Sudo's kick that broke the desk, but the damage caused when it fell to the ground. This feat would be better if we counted it as strength, which would put it from athletic human to peak human at maximum. Now let's talk about the elevator statement. In the panel it says if even we couldn't break it, but the use of the word even if doesn't refer to the possibility that he could destroy the door, but to the second proposition that comes after it, where he mentions the possibility of creating a small opening through which a human could slip. The interpretation might have been right if it weren't for this proposition, but unfortunately it also contradicts the previous example. What's more, it's not compulsory for him to be able to create a small opening in a single move. And there's also the possibility that he could use his lifting strength rather than his. In conclusion, in Classroom of the Elite, as Ibuki is a weak character compared to the others, she establishes a basic wall level. According to this page of the Versus Battle Wiki, one-shot a character by giving a blow in the abdomen allows to make a 7.5 times on durability. So Ayanakaji is able to one-shot Nagumo, who has better durability than Ibuki. In low ball, he'd be at 79.2 kilojoules. Mid ball, 158.4 kilojoules. High ball, 237.6 kilojoules. This gives us feats well above the baseline wall level. Even Takuya Yagami is capable of one-shotting Ibuki without looking at her. So he's at least on the same scale as Ayanakaji, except that narratively, just Ayanakaji current is much stronger, knowing that this form of Ayanakaji is still much weaker than its prime La White form. I'll start the speed scale with Ichika. For Ichika's attack speed to show her level doesn't come out of nowhere, there are many feats that can put her subsonic. For example, in the panel below, in the top section, we have the information that Ichika is getting closer to Kushida, so by definition she was quite a distance away. Then, while Kushida was thinking while watching Ichika, there was a smack, which was the sound of Ichika slapping her, but she couldn't react, and after taking the slap she began to feel pain on her cheek. Wondering what had happened. In this case, it shows that at no point did Kushida hit Ichika, and so Ichika went much faster than her eye. According to the requirements, being faster than the human eye allows scale subsonic at 34.4 m/s. At the same time. This means that characters stronger than Ichika would be at the speed at. In this second panel, which can serve as an example, we can analyze the construction of the scene to affirm that the feat is subsonic in the same way as the first. This feat can also use with transonic speed at the speed of sound because Ichika created a delay with the sound of her attack. But this is only in high ball. Indeed, it's obvious to see that it's also subsonic. In the upper part of the screen, we see Ichika warning Kushida of her attack, so the action being affirmed for the two characters, it's illogical to think that she attacked Kushida by surprise. Then there's a passage informing us that Kushida's vision is blurred. Then she hears a thud and finally finds herself lying on the ground contemplating the sky. This is a good indicator that she didn't understand the action at all. But more importantly, right afterwards she's told that if she'd been hit, she wouldn't have had time to see and understand the action. In conclusion, this feat was also subsonic, as Ichika attacked faster than Kushida's eye. Now we can calculate Hosen's reaction speed, knowing that he only uses one hand. This ensures that characters equal to or superior to him in narrative terms have this minimum speed, that is 63 meters per second. Now we can have Hosen level characters at this speed, so the majority of high tiers can see their speed increase substantially. Another feat is Takuya, who in year volume for 0.5 is able to blitz Ichika completely, although the distance is short. We're given the narrative context that Takuya and Shiba are far superior to Ichika, which is useful for increasing speed. Now let's talk about a feat very controversial in the community, which is Ayanakaji's blitz on Ichika in volume 7 of year 2. First of all, you need to know that there are two interpretations, blitz and outspeed. In the context of the feat, the two are equally valid, so I'm going to scale the two. For the blitz, with the values recovered above, we can find a minimum transonic value of 318 ms. Except that although the distance has been announced at meters, we can think that it goes further given that it also defeats the hand of Ichika always during the blitz. We can therefore add at least 1 meter to get between Ichika and Kushida plus 69 centimeters, which is the size of his arm. After further calculation, the distance increases to 6.69 meters, giving a supersonic result of 425 meters per second. For the outspeed, I'm only going to use the reference value of 5 meters to avoid assumptions. Then for the Ichika speed, we know that it reaches values subsonic to their baseline and no problem. To counteract calc stacking, we know from the narrative context that it's a race for speed between the two characters, so the goal is to find out who's faster. With this in mind, it's now illogical to think that Ichika has held back below subsonic. As for Ichika's attack distance, we know that she holds Kushida in the armlock position to such an extent that it hurts. Ayanakaji declares that she disarmed her hand although very lightly. This indication allows us to exclude full arm or forearm movements, and focus instead on hand movements. So in value I'll take 10 centimeters in low ball. Now, if we sum it all up, we get a hypersonic speed of 1720 meters per second for Ayanakaji. To conclude this video, we can see that the verse for Classroom of the Elite is much higher than what is shown here, where low tiers like Ibuki or Nagumo are street plus at wall level with peak human to superhuman speeds. High tiers like Ichika are wall level with subsonic to transonic speeds. Very high tiers like Yagami are wall level at least 79 kilojoules and well above subsonic, and will easily fit into subsonic plus to transonic tiers. God tiers like Ayanakaji is massively higher than Yagami, which is wall level at between 79 kilojoules and 237 kilojoules, and also at least hypersonic in speed. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed this format. In the future, I intend to do more of this type of format, so don't hesitate to subscribe to support me and my work.